For local area coordination, I think the way it is and the way it's structured and the way it is so local, I think it has moved us away from talking about statistics and impact through kind of that aspect. And we're focusing really firmly on the individual experience and how their lives are being positively impacted.
For me, I guess lifting up sort of strategically and building on Sarah's point about this being transformative for individuals, I think it's transformative more broadly in terms of sort of public services or the way in which kind of people receive support in some way, shape or form. So for me, this feels like a really practical expression of that shift to a much more kind of relational based, locally connected based sort of set of public services or set of kind of localized support. I don't want to sort of limit it, I guess, to kind of public services. And I think that feels really important as well.
Being so locally based in a small geographic area, I think it helps reach people that might not, want services or might fall between the gaps of statutory services, but still need some kind of help and some kind of support. And I think what we've noticed in Surrey is actually the type of lasting relationship. It's a very different kind of relationship with a local area coordinator than you would have with a statutory service, for example. It can be really complementary, but I think it allows people to look at their lives in a holistic way. So you're not just looking at it through the lens of one particular service or one particular challenge. And I think in terms of that impact, I think it can be really, really transformative for people. So I think of some of the quotes we've had, it's given me a sense of purpose again. I believe I can achieve things for myself again. It makes me want to get out of bed in the morning. These are really fundamental, transformative impacts on people's lives that might be in quite small ways, but as they build, it builds into something I think really, really transformative for that person.
When we visit places where we're thinking about the role and describe it and bring along some of the current local area coordinators, some of the sort of penny drop moments for people, the things that stand out with it come across really clearly. So I remember at a sort of community event a few weeks ago, someone saying, "What? So they just work here?" Because I probably wouldn't phone that number or speak to someone if I had to do that or go over there. And in that sense, it's really simplistic. And also, I think for people doing the role, when even the people in the role had people phoning to talk about it, and they're like, so you just sort of focus on the relationship, and you've got time, and there's no limit. Exactly like you were saying, so there's no limit on that, and that I don't have to have fixed everything by 5 visits.
It feels like there's something very personal about local area coordination, that people in communities, whether they're people being walked alongside by coordinators or people working in and around communities and other practitioners as well, kind of actually being really positive and really supportive about it. I think that's been something I've noticed kind of personally around people's reactions to local area coordination. It's quite visceral for people. It really kind of impacts them emotionally, I think.